So Fallout 76 is now in full swing. That means the full game is available for everyone to purchase and everybody to play. And now with that, piqued my curiosity a little bit. Kind of want to go through the game, let's say, and see what exactly, you know, may have changed. And I actually wrote down a list here, so I'm just going to go over some of the things we're going to be covering. What exactly changed from the beta to the full game. A couple of things we're gonna be checking out for is first the item shop. So once we load into the game, we could have done that from the menu, but let's get the loading out of the way first because we are on the classic PS4. This is gonna take a couple minutes. After the item shop, we're gonna take a look at any potential UI changes, interface to the Pip-Boy, to the menus. Maybe they changed some of the logos, some of the icons for some of the fast travels. Who knows? Those are maybe a little more hard to catch because there are many different ones. Next from that, we're going to be checking out shop changes, like actual vendors, crafting changes, any new gun attachments. We'll go over all that as we go along. So the first thing I actually want to take a look at is the item shop to see what they added. And just load it in here. So last thing we actually ended off with in the beta is but the little house. Probably not the best area to do this. It's kind of run down, but you know what? Nonetheless, it's got all the amenities I need. Crafting station. And I think we got a bed in here. No, we don't. Alright. We're going to have to add that soon. Add that eventually. So, item shop. Let's see what we have here. Because it was very limited in the beta. You know, I was tempted to buy some stuff because I was under the impression that maybe it's limited stuff. Like, if you buy it in the beta, it won't be available in the full game. But that wasn't the case. Everything in the beta is actually available in this. So it looks like we have some featured stuff here. Reclamation Day is upon us. Yes, that is correct. The full game is out. Lawn Gnome. What is this? Wondering how to add a little flair to the garden in your camp. That is actually pretty cool. So that's just an unlockable for settlement building. I don't think it's called that in this game. I guess you can just refer to it as crafting. Atomic lamps, sparklers. Ooh, okay, so we got some Vault-Tec. I mean, that's pretty costly for a Vault-Tec paint, I won't lie, but you know what? On the T60 armor that I'm seeing there, that does look pretty cool. Let's just skim through all this stuff quickly because you guys don't want to see me going through this menu for too long. So, example, black overalls, that was in the beta. Pajamas, Red Rocket jumpsuit. So a lot of these things I'm seeing here actually carried over to the full game. We got the Tricentennial stuff like the Uncle Sam outfit, which is already unlocked. I'm assuming... yeah, so there's no option for us to select that. That more than likely will just show up in our Pip-Boy. We got the Patriot head. You know we're going to have to wear that in the game. 100% we're going to have to put that on. Now, the Tricentennial paint, when I eventually get up to the level where I can use power armor pieces, I'm really excited to try that out. The color scheme looks really great on that. Camp stuff, so like doors, floor textures. You know, they are going to add stuff eventually throughout the lifespan of this game. Constant free updates. Photo mode, emotes, icons. A lot of the stuff I'm not really going to be focusing on too much. So that was the Atomic Shop for you. Good amount of stuff. I won't lie. That's a decent amount of stuff for the first day this game came out, really. So the next thing we're going to be paying attention to is any potential UI changes. So I'm going through this actually live with this commentary, so let's just walk through this here. I don't see anything here, so this is more or less exactly Fallout 4, except we don't have the map because the map is the actual pause menu. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. It's the same blue icons from the beta. Nothing here. So the map is exactly the same. So these are the event markers here. So anytime you see those specific yellow icons that are flashing like that, collision course, back on the beat. So I believe I've done a collision course event in the beta, but that's one of the only ones I actually did. There was another one which was a survival. I think this one is the survival because it is by the airport, and I do remember doing this by Morgantown Airport. Everything with the user interface, the button placement, the icons for the fast travel. This looks like a new one, actually. I don't believe I've seen this one in the beta. It's supposed to be like a power station. That might have been... so the generator here actually might have been the radioactive symbol. They may have updated that, so it's pretty cool. more distinctive, so you actually know where you're going. But other than that, I mean, user interface is the same. Like Bethesda said, the beta is actually the full game, which all of your stuff that you actually unlocked in the beta, all of your levels, everything you have. This is why I have all these weapons here. I actually did get a small advantage for pre-ordering and getting access to the beta. So on to the next thing that I'm curious about, any potential shop changes. As far as I know from the beta, they did sell quite a lot of stuff, but it seemed, to me, it seemed like something may have been missing. I mean, on average, they carry like 150 to 250 caps for stuff that you could sell. So I wonder if they did increase that, because once you sell enough and you reach that cap limit in the vendors, it doesn't respawn. So their actual caps don't regenerate for, I believe, 30 in-game minutes. 30 to 40 in-game minutes is the longest I've went, and when I checked back from that, they seem to have more. So let's go take a look now. I'm not expecting there to be much of a change with the vendors. Let's take a look here. Okay, so yeah, they did start with 200. That is the same. That did carry over from the beta. One weapon he's selling. That's interesting. Okay, see, now that doesn't really seem right, I would say. In the beta, I mean, did sell actual firearms, but I guess that is level dependent now, like apparel. There's two pieces of armor I see here. So the metal left arm, metal left leg. That's actually really interesting. I wonder, yeah, so even aid, miscellaneous, notes, plan, chemistry workbench, footlocker. Okay, so this is pretty cool. You can actually buy the plans. This I didn't know. So you do learn stuff every day with playing this game. I thought you actually had to go and find these plans out questing, maybe following the main quest line. But this is pretty cool that you can actually buy them from the vendor. Vendors, as far as I know, bit of an interesting change with the whole limited loot system. I've never really seen something like this where they sell such a limited amount. And the thing with vendors, when you go from one to the other, their inventory is actually the same. So right now, we are at Charleston Station. So let's say I went from Charleston Station all the way to, so we got another one here. If we go from Charleston to Morgantown Station, the vendor at Morgantown is actually going to have the same stuff that you sold to the Charleston. It's weird. It kind of, they have a universal inventory that they can sell to you. Kind of learned that the hard way when I wanted to actually sell for a little bit more caps, and the robots didn't have any more, so that came as a bit of a shock. But it's interesting seeing how their inventories were actually reduced from the beta. They sold a lot more stuff, what I've noticed. Aside from that, I mean, it's the same. User interface for the shop is the same. It's definitely something I'm going to keep a close eye on for when I level up a little further. While we're here at the vendor, this is the perfect spot because we have a weapons workbench. So what I'm going to do, get out of our power armor here, because we all know that you cannot craft while in power armor. That carried over from Fallout 4 into this game here. Collect this. Now, the next thing I want to take a look at is crafting changes, specifically weapon attachments, because in the beta I really wanted to improve my weapons. Some of them I was actually able to because they weren't level locked, but it seemed really restrictive. So let's say for the pump action shotgun I mainly use here, this stock came with it, but if I wanted to go edit another shotgun and add the same stock, it wasn't there for some weird reason. Maybe some of them don't support it, but a lot of the attachments, for example, like red dot, even suppressors, were missing for a lot of the weapons, so that they may have not been present. But we're actually going to check now, because I did mention the shotgun. I'm actually going to go into this here now. Receiver, standard receiver, true receiver, barrel, standard barrel, medium barrel, long barrel. Okay, no, there's no red dot, no muzzle, no paint, no. Okay, that's pretty interesting. But let's take a look at another weapon here. For example, do we have a pipe weapon? Pipe rifle, perfect. Pipe weapons, one of the most highly modifiable guns you can find in the Wasteland, of Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. Do they have automatic receiver, standard receiver, hardened receiver? No, that standard long barrel, standard short barrel, stub barrel, stock. Okay, well, there's quite a few different grips, but wow. Standard magazine, Swift magazine. No way. Okay. This is really interesting. I don't see any extra additions to any attachments from the beta carrying over to the full game. This looks like everything that was in the beta stayed, but there were no additional attachments added, which is a little strange. It's kind of... There's not really much to choose. Okay. The 10mm pistol is another highly modifiable weapon, so there's many different receivers. No, there is not. Hair trigger receiver, standard receiver. There's a couple different barrels, like long barrel, short barrel, standard short barrel, stub barrel. Oh, hold on. Paint. Tricentennial. Ooh. Okay. Wow. I like how a lot of the mechanics on the weapon are gold. I thought that would be a yellow, but it's like a kind of goldish, reflective. We don't have any oil. Let's take a closer look at this weapon. Why'd you put it away? Wow. That is a really neat paint job. I like that. I actually really like that. I kind of wish it was for more weapons, but hey, this is pretty clean. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this video here. Just a couple things I wanted to go over to see what changed, if anything in particular changed. From what I've taken notice of, very, very minor. If you have an observation about the vendors in some of my other videos you may have watched, leave it in the comments. Let me know. Is it different? Is it the same as the beta? If you're not going to pick up this game and you are curious to know if anything changed from the beta to the full game that you would want to see, let me know in the comments below. I'll compile all of them that I get together and I'll throw those in another video for you guys. But anyways, that's just some of my observations. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.